Now that since you jumped to this video, I assume that you've seen the movie. If you haven't, why are you doing this to yourself? Go watch the movie. Go watch it. I guarantee you, you will not regret it. If you loved the first two movies, you will love this one. Get on, go over there. So I'm gonna assume that you've seen the movie. So hear what I gotta say about it. So basically, when the movie starts, Caesar's oldest son, Blue Eyes, comes back from an adventure with Rocket, and they found a place where the apes can go, and then they decide to sleep on it, and then go the next morning. And while we're still later on that night, Woody Harrelson's character, the Colonel, and his army come and they invade the camp where the apes are, and then you see what sets this ball in motion between Caesar and the Colonel. The Colonel kills Caesar's oldest son and his wife, and you're thinking, did he kill his youngest too? But no, his youngest son Cornelius is, he survived, and poor thing, he watched the whole thing happen, or oh my gosh. And I just now figured out it's a little nod to the original movies, where Caesar's son Cornelius is a nod to the first movie, like where that's the leading ape in the original movie and it's not Caesar. I don't know, I didn't watch the original movies, but I just found that out recently. But so Caesar is on the warpath. He is thirsty for the Colonel's blood, and he has this hunger, he's just thirsty for his blood. He's on the warpath. He said he's ready to go and just basically kill this guy once and for all, and have every other ape go to where Blue Eyes said they needed to go. And that's what he does. And then Maurice insists on coming with him, along with a few other apes. And then here we are. And then they come across the little girl that you see in the trailer. She can't talk, and you're thinking, no, maybe she just has a disability where she can't talk. Maybe she just isn't able to talk. And then there's actually a story there, like where they come across three dead bodies, supposedly two. One is still alive, and Caesar asks, like, why were you shot? And then he can't talk, like much like the girl, like where she can't talk. And then you find out later on in the movie that the virus has basically evolved into where, for those who have sort of made it this far, basically it takes away their intelligence, where the tables ultimately turn, where the humans are now the apes and the apes are now the humans, because they're intelligent, and then basically we're going to lose our intelligence. So you kind of get a little idea of why the Colonel is why he is on this genocidal quest, you know what I mean? And it's just, even though you don't agree with his methods, you kind of understand it a little bit. But you understand Koba a lot more, because of why he hates the humans. And basically the Colonel lives up to his image of the humans. And what I find a little silly, I find a little hilarious, is that how some apes who followed Koba are now basically working for the Colonel, along with the rest of, just with those apes alone. It's just funny, because it's funny, like, how can you basically follow Koba and you're basically doing exactly what he's strongly against, but it is what it is. I don't know. And then the rest of Caesar's army is captured too, and they feel betrayed because Caesar was not there. He just went off to go kill the Colonel, and I don't know. They probably would have felt. They probably would have. I guess they probably would have had a better chance of not getting caught if Caesar was there, and also where Caesar finds out why, how did the Colonel find him, is because that white furred ape, I think his name was Winter. I think his name was Winter. He basically sold them out, and he was tricked into believing that their lives would be spared if he told them where Caesar was, and that's what he did. And basically, you know, Caesar's wife and oldest son is their blood is more on his hands than it is on the colonel's, and then Caesar, you know, kills him. I thought he was trying to keep him quiet and knock him out, and you know, and just basically knock him out and put him to sleep, but he actually killed Winter. I'm like, wow. I mean, like, I just felt really bad. I mean, like, because basically all Caesar wanted to do is provide a life for apes, and then he's once again forced to kill another one. But Koba, I can understand. But I mean, with me personally, and I sort of understand with Winter, because he probably would have sold them out and said they're in here, you know, and just basically warned the, you know, the soldiers that they're there. But yeah, I mean, this is like the darkest movie of them all, and I never felt more bad for Caesar than I did in any other movie. I mean, like, basically he is this movie beats him to the ground. I mean, like, take his wife and his oldest son away from him, and he's forced to kill another ape, and he's captured by the colonel. He's being strung up, and then and then water gets dumped on him, and then out there, and it's like cold, and it's like winter outside. They're like up north, and it's freezing outside, and then he's gonna freeze to death with that water on him, and man, and then like what I said in my spoiler-free review with Nova, the little girl, where they have powerful moments with her, like where she provides Caesar with water and food, and the same thing with the other apes, where the colonel will not let them have any water or any food. He just make them work and work and work until they get, I guess, until he's satisfied, and then he'll provide them with the food and water. But Nova provides them with that, and that's a very powerful moment, because Caesar had to kill her caretaker, or her father, whoever that guy was that they, you know, who they came across before they found her, and he was about to shoot the other apes, so Caesar didn't have a choice. But it's powerful, you know, because, you know, she was basically with that guy, and she's going out of her way. She wants to make sure that Caesar and the rest of the apes are okay, and the bond between her and Maurice is powerful. Like, you hear him speak for the first time in the movie, and while he's trying to teach her how to talk, and teaching her the you know, the ape sign language, you know, it's beautiful. And still, like, you know, okay, so the apes are about to get out of captivity. Maurice, you know, is getting them out of there, and then Caesar is like, I still gotta go kill this guy. And then he did come to terms with the fact that he is becoming like Koba, where he's driven by hate, and you're just driven by hate. And he goes up to the colonel, and then he finds out that he is also infected by the virus, where he can't talk or whatever, and he wants Caesar to shoot him. But Caesar basically fights his need for, you know, his thirst for, you know, for the colonel's blood, and then he just lets him live with that. And then the colonel kills himself, and then the army that's basically was against the colonel, they were coming to wipe them out, and that's where the real war starts between these humans and the other humans who don't agree with them. So that's basically what it is. And then you know, the rest of the colonel's army, the rest of his soldiers are basically fighting back against the apes, and then one of the guys that Caesar, you know, that Caesar spared his life in the beginning of the movie, like, that guy shoots Caesar, and it's just, it's crazy. I mean, he basically told him who started the war, and he killed, and then like Koba started the war, and he killed him, and he sent him back to the colonel to send a message like, I don't want to kill. I mean, I don't want to start a war. I don't want a fight. And then yet that still happens, but still, Caesar was getting ready to blow, that camp, the Kingdom Come, along with those other soldiers, including that one that he spared. So I kind of understand. I mean, like if I saw an ape get ready to, basically blow me up along with everybody, I probably would have done the same thing, or at least tell him to drop it, or just, or something, but I don't know. And then one of the apes who was called Donkey, where they called some of the apes Donkey, you see some conflict in him, even though he basically is a loyal servant to the colonel. But you see that he could, at any point in the movie, at any time, he could basically turn on the colonel's soldiers, and that's what he does. He turns on one of the guy that shot Caesar, kills him, and then he willingly dies because of that. Like he willingly dies for his actions, where he wasn't afraid to die. He didn't beg for his life. He didn't even try to fight the other guy back. Like when he shot him in the head, and then there you go, and then that's it. And then Caesar kills all of them, and then this other army comes in, and then they get killed by an avalanche. And then they see Caesar before that, and it looks like they're getting ready to shoot him. And then the avalanche comes, like, and then the apes conveniently survive the avalanche, and then they go to where this other place was, where they needed to go anyway. And then Caesar makes sure they all got there, and then Caesar just lets that fight go. He just allows himself to die, and I was like, wow. Like, they really did that. They really killed Caesar. Like, oh my gosh. And he has that final talk with Maurice. Maurice stood by him from the very beginning. And Maurice is like the heart of the story, pretty much. I mean, like, Caesar led, the apes, but Maurice is basically the heart, and like the heart and soul of, of the movies, of these movies. Where he stayed good. He didn't allow himself to be corrupted by anything, even when he was in captivity, like in the first movie, and Caesar got him and everybody out. Maurice still stayed Maurice, and that's very powerful. And I can sort of understand why the movie didn't allow Cornelius to see Caesar die, because it was bad enough that he saw his older brother and his mother die and slaughtered, in cold blood. So, I mean, it leaves an opening for him to be a leader down the stretch, and this basically is the end of the line for Caesar. This is basically the conclusion to Caesar's journey, and it's a good conclusion. And like many other trilogies, it leaves an opening for more things to happen, where it can go to other places. But I feel like it should end right here. I had no interest to see another movie because I followed Caesar, and that's who kept me gravitated towards the story and his journey. And now that it's ended, I have no desire to see what happens from here. I mean, this is good right here. It doesn't need to continue any further. And it's like it's giving Logan a run for its money. I mean, just because of how impactful it was, and how emotional it was, and how sad and just how depressing this story was. This is a very depressing and very heart-shattering trilogy, and it's epic. I mean, like, and it doesn't just have mindless fun action. I mean, this movie doesn't have any of that. I mean, like, the action happens when it needs to happen, and it's more focused on the drama of the story. And if you weren't focused on the drama of the story, then you weren't compelled, like from the first two movies. I mean, that's what. I mean, the action is the frosting on the cake, and the cake is the drama. You know what I mean? And man, I mean, like I said, it gives Logan a run for its money as far as emotional movies go. And this is one of the best movies of 2017, probably one of the best movies of the summer, along with Wonder Woman and Spider-Man: Homecoming. And I'm still wrestling with who comes out on top in that top three. Oh man, I'm still on the verge of recovery from watching this movie. I mean, I nearly almost cried watching it, and looking back on it, I feel emotional. I mean, but yeah, if you guys enjoyed my spoiler talk on this movie, make sure you thumb up the video and make sure you click subscribe if you're a newbie to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope it stops here, but I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't stop it here. So time will tell. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, and Andy Serkis needs to get at least an Emmy and an Oscar nomination for these movies. Honestly, I mean, come on, people, give him a nomination at least, please. Gosh, what is wrong with you people? All right, I'll see everybody I'll see all of you in the next video. Peace out, y'all.